Hey, I know you guys are probably tired of this outfit, but I thought I would go ahead and get all my introduction type videos out of the way. So in my last video, I mentioned that I would do one about what books I'm reading. I spend a lot of time reading. So right now I'm actually reading two books. Some of the books I recently finished. I've read Forgiving Lies and Deceiving Lies by Molly McAdams. It's kind of a two part book, I guess, a two book series. Um, it's pretty good. I didn't know it at the time, but it's about this girl. She's in college, and she has kind of this stalker boyfriend, not really her boyfriend, but anyways, she ends up meeting this guy. She doesn't know he's an undercover cop. And it's basically just about their relationship. I did read all the 50 Shades of Grey books. I liked them, kind of like everybody else. I'm excited for the movie. I hope it's not too risque. I mean, the book was pretty graphic, but yeah, hopefully the movie's pretty good. I'm planning on seeing it with some of my friends, some of the girls that I work with. So I'm pumped for that. Also, um, I just finished reading um, If I Stay. I don't know if you can see it. If I Stay. It's by Gail Forman, and you guys have probably seen the previews. It's coming out in August, I think. It's a movie that it looks really good. I saw the previews. I never even heard about it before, so I went and bought the book, and then as soon as I finished the book, I found out there was a second book. So I ordered that one on Amazon real fast, and so I'm reading that one right now. It's called Where She Went, um, by Gail Forman. It's pretty good. It's kind of from a different perspective than the first book, so it's good. It's different. I like it. I've been reading it. I just started it yesterday, so I'm already halfway through. And also, I'm reading. You guys are gonna think this is stupid, but I don't know if you guys know Steve Harvey. He does Family Feud. He has a talk show. He's a comedian. He's hilarious. I think he's so funny. I love watching Family Feud. It's like my favorite thing to watch at work whenever I don't have anything else to do. So he actually has two books. My lieutenant, she bought one of the books, and I bought another book. It's called Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. And it is so funny. It's basically, since I'm perpetually single forever and ever, I probably will be forever, but it's basically about relationships and how to figure out why guys act like guys. And basically, it's really funny. He kind of has like he has like a funny side to it instead of like depressing, like you're alone and you suck, you know. So and it's about, it says here is what men really think about love, relationships, intimacy, and commitment. So it's really funny. If you guys want it's under, I think it's supposed to be a self-help book, but it's self-help and relationships, but it's really funny. If you guys want a good funny book that's you can stop and start, you know, it's not like you have a whole series to read. It's really funny. I started it on the 21st, so about a week ago. I'm about halfway through with it, a little less. I've just been kind of reading it when I don't have like a long period of time to read. You know, if I just have like 30 minutes or an hour, I'll pick it up and read it a little bit. Because when I read another book, like if I'm reading a novel, I try and read like for a couple hours at a time at least, because I don't really, you know, I get uh kind of lost if I just pick it up for a little bit and then move on, you know, to do something else, clean or work or, you know, go to a movie or something. I kind of forget, and so I tend to have to reread everything. So that's why I read so fast, is I just sit down and read a book and then move on to the next one. Sometimes I have trouble remembering what all I read. Like I'll go see a movie, you know, like Hunger Games. I went and saw the second Hunger Games Catching Fire, and you know, of course, I read all those books. But I had read them so fast. I read all three of them in about 2.5 days, 3 days over Christmas break couple years ago, whenever they were really big. Um, and so whenever the second movie came out, a lot of stuff was happening, and I was like, I kind of forgot that happened. So I read them so fast, I have trouble remembering some of the stuff that happens. But That's probably why I like the movie so much. Also, since I was at the movies, I saw the previews for Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. I haven't read the book. It is next. As soon as I finish Where She Went, I'm going to be reading this one. I chose Where She Went first because it comes out before Gone Girl. I try to, if I have a limited amount of time before a movie comes out, then I want to read that book first. So that's kind of how I plan what books I'm going to read, and in what order. And also, I had forgot that, I had read all the Divergent books, which I loved. At first, I was like, everybody's saying this is better than the Hunger Games, and I was like, I don't really know if it is. But once I got into it, I was all about it. I loved those books. And so I had kind of forgotten that the fourth book, she came out with a fourth book, Veronica Roth did. It's called Four. So I picked that up. I spent a lot of money at Barnes & Noble. I would order off Amazon, but you have to wait for those. I want it now. So, yeah, but I'll probably read that one eventually. I have some other books that I've got lined up to read, which I don't really have when I want to read those by. I bought City of Bones a long time ago, right after the movie came out. I still haven't seen the movie, but I still haven't read the book. So I've got it over there on my shelf. It's just waiting for me. Some other things I've read. I read a lot of Jodi Picoult books. I loved those books. But after I read so many, they kind of got predictable. They all have a twist at the end that changes your whole perspective on everything that's happened, and it gets kind of predictable. So I probably read 7 or 8 of those and moved on. I started reading Patricia Cornwell books, which, if you know who Patricia Cornwell is, then you know that she's a medical examiner, or she writes a character, her name's Scarpetta, and Scarpetta is a medical examiner in Virginia, and so I actually used to live in Tennessee, which is close to Virginia, and she talks about, in some of her books, The Body Farm, which is a body farm in Tennessee, where they put dead bodies and watch how they decompose, their bug activity, and stuff like that. And so that was really fun. I don't even know how many books are in those. Like, it's probably 20-something, 25 books, I don't know, in that series, and I probably read 15 of them. They're really small books, pretty thick, but I read probably 5 or 6 of those at a time, and then would read something else. But I'm one of those people, I don't like to stop until I read the whole series, and so it finally got to where it was a little slower and wasn't as interesting to me, so I switched to I had so many other books that I wanted to read that I just took a break from those, but I'll probably pick them up again eventually, because I have the whole series, all of the Scarpetta books, and she does books other than the Scarpetta character. She has books outside of that character, but those are the only ones I've read. I'm sure they're all really good. My mom and all of her sisters have read them all, so that's where I found out about that. Also, I read a series, the Damien Stark series by Jay Kenner. That was really good. It's similar to 50 Shades of Grey. It's not as out there. It's probably not so graphic, I guess, but it was good. I liked it. It has 3 books. He's a millionaire and she's in college, and kind of falls along the same lines as 50 Shades of Grey, but I finished that pretty recently, and it was good. I liked it. They have a spin-off of it. I think it's 2 books, a spin-off about her friend, but I haven't picked that up yet. I think it might be only on e-readers, and I don't do e-readers because I like to have the book in my hand, and I like to keep it and, display it on my shrine shelf whenever I'm done reading it. So I will have a huge shelf of all the books I've read, and I tend to loan out books a lot, so there's a lot of books that I have read that I don't have or can't remember right now, but I also read The Help. If you guys haven't seen the movie The Help, it is so funny, and it's kind of heartbreaking. It was such a good movie. I went and saw it with my mom and dad in the theater, and it was so funny. I didn't even know it was a book. And so that day we went and got the book, and I read it really fast. And it's quite different than the movie, but it's really good. It's not like one's better than the other. They're both really funny and really good. So if you guys want kind of a light, book to read, funny, it's got some sad parts in it too, but it's good. You can read The Help. Um, I guess I read a book by Opal Carew. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know, but it's like more in the romance section, kind of by the 50 Shades of Grey and the Stark series kind of books. And I only bought a couple. I bought Secret Weapon, which I did not like. It was way out there. I was just trying to read it to get it over with, so I didn't have one, that I was like halfway through. And then I have Total Abandon, which I don't know if I'm gonna like that either, but I have it, and once I run out of stuff to read, I'll probably read that. But I started reading this book. It's called Never Have I Ever, My Life So Far Without a Date. It's by Katie Haney, I think is how it says. It's a memoir, basically about how she's never had a second date, and it's kind of, I think she's a blogger, and so it's kind of more relaxed style of writing. It's not really like a novel. It's a memoir. I don't read many memoirs, and so it's a little different. It's kind of like the Steve Harvey book. I just read bits and pieces. I'm not nearly as far along as I am in that book. I'm only on like page 33. So I guess I'm reading 3 books right now. But I usually always have at least 1 or 2 books with me. I like to go get food. I go places a lot by myself just so it'll be quiet and I can read. Like today I went to McAllister's. I don't know where you guys are from if you have McAllister's, but they have the best sweet tea. So I went there and I ate by myself, and then I read for a little bit. And then I was sitting outside, so it got kind of hot. I don't know where you guys are, what the temperature's like, but here in Oklahoma, it's hot. Actually today it's not as hot as it was, I think we finally got up to 100 this past week, which is really actually not very hot for what we usually have. A couple of years ago it got up to like 114 or something like that. So, and then we have really cold winters. So today it was kind of cooler, and so I could stand with the wind blowing. I could stand to be outside, and so I went to have a patio there, and I went and sat and read for a little bit. And then I went to the mall, and I went shopping. So I'm going to post another video about some hauls. I went to Forever 21. I'll post a video about that, and then probably in the same video I'll include a Sephora haul. I didn't get very much stuff, but I did spend a lot of money, so I'll put that up next. Thanks, guys.